Welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. R.K. Verma, ex-Chief Scientist, CSIR NISCARE. Today I will talk on the topic of alerting services, concepts, needs and techniques of current awareness services. I will cover the objectives of this current awareness services, its characteristics and various forms and options for providing service through as current awareness service, and lastly the uh, software agencies who issue the who provide the information through online services and like bulletin board, email, etc. Not only manual service but email and other computerized services are also will be covered. One of the basic functions of the libraries is to keep its users in touch with its information resources for maximum utilization. The same are accomplished by way of providing various information services in anticipation of demands of users. These are collectively termed as alerting services and also broadly known as current awareness services, that is CAS. The objectives are to know about the manual as well as computer-based methods and techniques to keep the information seekers up to date in their field of interest or specialization. To list the various alerting services in modern library information centers, how to provide current awareness service in information organizations, and to understand how to save the time of the user. Need of alerting services. The main reasons for providing these services are because of tremendous growth of literature, interdisciplinary nature of research, variety of types and forms of documents such as journals, reports, seminar papers, etc., and users' help to bridge the time interval between the publication of an article and the inclusion of an abstract. Characteristics of alerting services. Characteristics of alerting services are approach not in response to specific query, continuous need, retrieval not the only intention, and diverse requirements. The first characteristics implies that a user may not have a specific search formulation while approaching the information system, since it satisfies only the current approach. The characteristic of retrieval not the only intention means that in most of the cases, the user is satisfied to know that a particular piece of work has appeared in print or somebody is working on a particular problem or the results of the same is expected to be published in the near future. Categories and kinds of current awareness service. There are generally two kinds of CAS. Number one, services for all the users, which includes contents pages of journals, library bulletin, list of new editions or accession list, newspaper clippings, and routing of periodicals. Secondly, services for homogeneous group of users, which may be provided to a homogeneous group of users, that is, having same interest. These may include communication of information to individuals or group through various means such as by telephone, conversation, routing of journals, etc. These may also include circulations of materials in anticipation to individuals, keeping in view their information needs. Now we are going to understand methods and techniques of providing current awareness services. These are current awareness bulletin list, routing of journals, display, research in progress bulletin, contents by journal service, and newspaper clipping service. Now let me explain the details of headings which are fallen under methods and techniques of current awareness services. Number one is the current awareness bulletin or list. It consists of a list of recent editions, or you can say a list of periodicals or indexing periodical, a list of articles from periodicals. The typical bulletin may contain all or some of the items, which may be library publicity and announcement in journal, news items, which can be selected from news in the form of clippings, then announcements of forthcoming conferences and meetings, and list of current acquisitions such as books or periodicals, details of content of recent periodicals, publication details from the secondary sources in original or as the reproduced one. Now let me explain another very common technique of current awareness service, that is routing of journals. You see, in this method, generally in special libraries or information centers, the bound volumes of journals circulated, but the current issues are also routed. Before the current issues of periodicals are issued, the reference librarian or information officer, whosoever it is, can scan these current issues and mark these certain articles to draw the attention of individuals. In this method, the library sends the current issues to the first person on the list, who passes it on to the next name in the list. Ultimately, the last person returns it to the library. For display method, it's a general practice of library to display either all or selective items of recent acquisitions as part of their publicity program. The item may be a book or periodical. It may be a jacket of a new book also. Research in Progress Bulletin is an alerting service which alerts the users about the new research projects and the progress made in the same in hand. Research in Progress contains the information about the laboratory at which the project is being done, name of the researchers, sources of funds, duration of project, etc. It also includes information about the status of the research in terms of the progress achieved and keeps up to date. Contents by journal service. In the method of contents by journal service, a library distributes a publication which consists of content pages of the journals in various subject areas. In this service, photocopies of the content page of the selected journals can be circulated to the users. There are some agencies such as Institute for Scientific Information, that is ISI, Philadelphia, now Thomson Reuters, which publish the content pages of journals entitled Current Contents, which is a rapid alerting service database. The simplest way is the duplication of the content pages of the journal. Example is Current Contents published by the Institute of Scientific Information in the USA. The Current Contents Physical Sciences published weekly reproduced the contents pages of over 700 journals. Newspaper clipping service. Newspapers carry useful information to everyone from housewives to top management. They are of various kinds such as regional, national or international. Newspaper clipping service covers the clippings of daily newspapers, weeklies, current magazines, etc. Clippings may pertain to different languages. Various libraries and documentation centers provide information, services based on these newspaper clippings. They maintain newspaper clippings for providing these types of services. This service is known as newspaper clipping service. Each newspaper is scanned and any item of interest to the user group are clipped, that is cut and pasted on a sheet of good quality paper. One or more clippings are then assigned subheading or class numbers or some code. At periodic intervals, that is daily or weekly, the clippings are arranged by subject headings or some code and disseminated to the users. The clippings themselves are filled in verified or in file orders for use at later stage. Selective dissemination of information, that is SDI. Selective dissemination of information, that is SDI, is a type of cache which keeps the user in touch with the latest developments in the field of user's interest. Its characteristics are: it is concerned with the published information. The source of current information may be available both within and outside the organization. It's a computerized assisted service. Now I will explain you what is SDI, various components of this. No, SDI means selective dissemination of information. The word this implies that is selected basis the service is provided. For whom, you may ask this question, for whom it is provided? It is provided to the research scholars who give some topics to the librarian so that they may match these topics in terms of keywords with the sources of information and provide them so that they can get benefit from this. Various components. First of all, user profile. Unless you know the user details, what is the requirements, what is the expectations, and librarian role here is to standardize the terms which are provided by the user, because user may have perception and he may not use the proper words which are already contained in the sources. So first of all, user profile is maintained. Then document profile or database is prepared. Next, a matching is done between user profile with document profile. Then notification is issued. The things do not conclude here. After that, feedback is also obtained. It is very important component, because unless you know whether a research scholar is benefited, whether he is getting relevant articles or not, that only from feedback only you can come to know. And last, if some modification required, you can change that also. That is the last component. That is the procedure in SDI in general. Now let me elaborate what is user profile. You see, the first step in SDI services to get to know the details about the users. Actually, the researcher will provide the subject headings on whatever subject is doing research. It will indicate the proper indexing terms as keywords. This process not only includes the subject keywords but also includes the user identification, whether individual researcher is there or some group is there dealing with the same topic or subject. The ultimate objective is to how to define the information needs properly. But that is the skill of the librarian, who can properly modify the terms also, whatever is contained in the sources, by iteration, by discussing with the users also, if it is not clear. The requirement of information is then collected by using questionnaire. It is better to put it predefined information which is in the form of questionnaire, so that you may sit on your own convenience and study these various requirements of the user, which can be further converted into machine readable form. And that is the essence of the user profile method. The next important component of current awareness service is the bibliographical record of the documents which is related to the user, because that is the sources which you have to maintain so that it may be matched with the user requirements, and you have to be very clear about the knowledgeable about the sources. Not only that, what are the information needs of the users along with their area of interest. It may be in-house based or from some commercial database. It depends on the topics. But both the systems have their own merits and demerits. For example, coverage and scope of commercial database may be more than the in-house created one, because it covers a lot of sources from various angles. On the other hand, in-house database, despite being very time consuming as compared to commercial database, that may give the exact, pinpointed, precise information, and you can say a better customization of information requirements which are expressed by the users. Matching user profile with document profile. Matching user profile with document profile component consists of matching the two profiles, that is, contents of the document profile with those of user profile with the help of computer. It's advisable to use computer rather than manual work if users are more than 100 or so. The task of the librarian is to translate the concept of user into descriptions or descriptors taken from controlled vocabulary or thesaurus, since it helps in perfect searching of documents information stored in the database. Notification. It is based on the match between the user interest profile and the document profile. At the first instance, the individual user receives notifications from the system if any loose match is observed between his or her profile and any document in the database. Further, the user may indicate the usefulness of the document's information disseminated to the person. The notification may be sent by taking printouts along with the covering letter and feedback form. The same may be sent by email or by using bulletin board service if the request from users is common. Feedback. The user is expected to provide feedback to the SDI providers in a prescribed feedback form indicating whether the document information notified is most relevant but not needed, or not relevant at all. In case most of the items of information are found useful, then it can be concluded that the user profile has been properly prepared. On the other hand, if most of the information is not found useful, then it can be said that user profile does not match with the user's interest and must be modified. Modification. In case the user indicates through the feedback form that the output is not useful, the SDI provider takes action to modify the profile on the basis of the results provided by the user. The reasons for disseminating of information that are not useful are analyzed, which may result in revision or modification of the user's profile. In some cases, the user's interest may also change due to the change in research projects or so. In such cases, the modification of the user profile itself is required. An active interest and personal contact between the user and the researcher is of great importance to ensure modification of the profile. Computer-based alerting services are termed as alerting services, RSS feeds and email, table of contents alerts, search alerts, citation alerts, and new publication alerts. Now, I will talk about the alerting services which can be provided automatically. With the introduction of ICT, automation, the scenario has changed. Earlier it was provided manually. We can provide the alerting services automatically. In this method, alerts can be sent from publishers, article indexing databases, or third parties, which they combine these sources. For this purpose, one has to get registered first, so that in return they get the alerts maybe via email, straight to the inbox, or via an RSS feed. You know what is RSS? That is simply really simple syndication. It is a family of formats actually, which is used for publishing frequently updated digital content, such as blogs, news, feeds, journal articles, or podcasts. With this RSS reader, or you can say aggregator, one can subscribe to many feeds and read the new entries all in one place, without having to visit individual websites, which takes more time and efforts also to find them. Many publishers are using RSS feeds nowadays to provide alerting service, so that they may advise on new information as it becomes available. Various types of journal alerts are available in the market nowadays. Table of content alerts. One can receive the table of contents of newly published journals which have been selected, often with links to the publisher site with the article. However, it may not be location where one obtained the article. These are often available well before the print issue is published. Search alerts. This is also called saved search alerts or keyword alerts. A search is created that is periodically rerun with new matches to one search criteria already sent. A well-focused search is then constructed to limit the number of results sent and to ensure results are on topic. Citation alerts. One can track when a specified article or author is cited in newly published articles with citation alerts. Most publishers cite limit results to citations appearing within their own journals, while databases can provide citations from many sources. New publication alerts. Notification of new publication other than journal issues from a publisher or professional organization are received. This could include books, proceedings, newsletters, standards, etc. Many journal and other academic publishers provide alerting services for their publications. Most publishers provide the services for free, so a library subscription to their publication is not needed, though registration is typically required. As is often the case, one can receive alerts to publications to which the library does not have a subscription or access from other sources received. Software packages for current awareness services. Many of the databases provided by the academic institutions, for example, University of Washington libraries, offer alert services that automatically send email notifications for new citations or table of contents that match a requester's interests. These are termed as alert, auto alert, saved search, and the procedures for setting them up vary among vendors, but they generally operate in the same way. By specifying the search terms or the journal titles, the database automatically provides with updated results via email. One has to register with a password and establish a profile or personal account besides providing email ID. Some alert services limit the number of searches one can save. Current awareness service provided by the external agencies. Current awareness services provided by the external agencies are the online hosts, that is, by database providers which include ISI alerting service or ISI profile-based alerting services and email and bulletin board service. The online hosts. The online host services provided by them are primarily generated from database mounted by these hosts. This type of current awareness services is available with almost all online hosts in a variety of subject areas. Notification is received from these hosts in print format, machine readable format, CD-ROM, or directly to the computer of the user. By database producers. There are a large number of publishers and database producers worldwide who offer current awareness service online. On the basis of subject coverage, libraries and information centers may select appropriate database. One of the important producers providing services is ISI alerting service that includes both profile-based and table of contents-based alerting service. It delivers current bibliographic information. It includes full-length English language author abstract in the field of science and technology, social sciences, arts and humanities, directly to the desktop of the user via web or email. It is selected on the basis of the information sources selected by the user. ISI profile-based alerting services. Personal alert. It's a highly customized profile-based service. Covers literature in over 16,000 science and technology, social sciences and humanities journals, books and conference proceedings. Then discovery agent, it is a web-based alerting service and can be used by the individuals for disseminating customized information. A user can create and manage personal research profile. The profiles are filtered against current contents database over good journals. Next, research alert. This is a print-based alerting service that delivers a complete bibliography of information. It is based on the personalized profiles developed for specific users. Then links alert by Springer. It is a free emailing current event awareness service that delivers the table of contents of books and journals brought by Springer. Email and bulletin board service. These are meant for. Let us now summarize the topics which we have covered in this module. Apart from the traditional ways, for example, routing of journals, table of contents, newspaper clipping service, these are very traditional services which have been used since long in the libraries. Nowadays, as you may have listened, the internet services provided by various agencies as current awareness service from their products and publications like email, bulletin boards have also started. For updation of these type of services, you may like to go to the various websites by searching on Google itself, and which are providing the services, because there may be more agencies providing the service which may not been covered in this. You are advised to look for the various sources on websites so that update the knowledge. I hope this will be very useful to you. Thank you.